Morning, afternoon, evening. I guess it could be whatever time. For me, it's still morning. It's like 11 a.m. and I'm getting ready to work out. But before I do that, should probably let's see. Discord. All right here is a good example of why I should automate. Hey, what's up, Arkin? How are you? Early build squad. Yeah. What's up, man? How are you? You doing good? I gotta make a I gotta make a post in the Discord. At everyone. I'm hanging out here if you wanna chat. There we go. Amir, hello, Amir. How are you? Good to see you this morning. I'm fine. A little sleep deprived. How about you? Yeah, I stayed up a little too late last night too. Stayed up a little bit too late last night. Um, I am actually just getting up and around for the day, and the draft resumes at noon. So I'm gonna try to get a workout in before I sit down to watch the draft. Hello, Stefan. How are you? Voldy, good to see you. Stefan, yes, I can tell by your hair. Yeah, dude, this is like not even as bad. When I wake up, first wake up, it's like stand straight up. This is usually like out to here. Syntax Queen, hello, good to see you. Worked the whole day today. What'd you do? Like worked on your farm or like work for somebody else? Everything hurts. Well, I guess that's how you know it was a productive day. Uh, shit, I can't find the lid to my creatine. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, on the farm. Nice. So you worked out and then you went to the farm and did That's classic, man. That's classic country boy stuff. Hello, Yummers. How are you doing? Network Bib, how are you? Yummers, it's been a while. It has been a while since I did a workout stream, yeah. Uh, since I've been using my lunch hour to stream and then I do an office hour chat, I can't really do workout streams during the week really most of the time. So now workout streams usually happen on the weekends. But it has been a minute, but I'm here. I actually snacking on seaweed. I don't know. I don't know if that sounds like a good snack. Is it salty? I kind of like salty, savory snacks myself. Uh, let's see. Stefan said, "I'm not coming out of bed until Monday. Like I don't care if a meteor hits right where I live. I'm not moving." Ducky, cheesy and sweet. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess it's a good pairing. But I kind of prefer my snacks to be salty. and savory rather than sweet. I've done a bad job of picking up after myself, so I need to put some stuff up before I can actually get started working out. Network bib, bye. Gym isn't my thing. No worries, network bib. See you later, man. No worries at all. I need to start some sort of like jacked nerds brand or something, or maybe like strong nerds because I'm not really jacked, but I'm pretty strong. Excuse me. Step in deadlifts. Yeah, we're gonna do deadlifts. I switched up my split quite a bit. So I'm doing basically like 3 or 4 full body workouts a week now. That's what I've been doing. King Nadish. Hi bro. So I'm gonna do deadlifts. Then I'm gonna well, actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna do deadlifts. I'm gonna do pull-ups, and then I'm gonna do overhead press today, barbell overhead press. Foldy, just stay subbed if you want to watch him. King Nadish, you will never see me again. I love this channel and want. Hey, bro, can you help me out, bro? I love this channel and want to stay subbed, but I am procrastinating. Should I unsub? I mean, do whatever's best for you, man. Yeah, don't definitely don't sacrifice anything in your life for my YouTube channel, man. This is all for fun. So if your life is taking a hit, if your quality of life is taking a hit, you should make a change. Syntax Queen, I hate deadlifts. It broke my back. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Stefan, I do squats 3 times, bench 3 times, deadlift 2 times. That's pretty good. I like that. Yummers is like, what are you talking about, King Nadish? um, yeah, it's fair. I mean, definitely, I understand some exercises, some lifts make other people's make people crankier than other people. So I get it. I don't think anybody has to deadlift if they don't want to. Um, I definitely think most people can find some variation of a deadlift that works for them, right? But it doesn't necessarily have to be bilateral barbell deadlifts, in my opinion. Eh, Uh, I think I'm just gonna do 315 for 3 sets of 3. How are you guys doing today? Anybody got any big plans for their Saturday? Sounds like Stefan spent his working doing chores. By cash, no coding tasks are planned for today. No, I do have tasks, but I'm gonna do those later. I'm gonna work out and then watch the NFL draft, and then I'll probably stream again this afternoon. King Didi said, "King, going dark." See you, King. Yummer sleeper build. He's like a truck. No, not a sleeper build. I just have a build like a 32-year-old dad. I just have a dad bod. Um, Syntax we know I'm not. I tried to do 80 kg. My form was wrong. Then I heard my back crack. Ah, that's terrible. Really sorry to hear that. That is never a good experience. And I'd be lying if I said I'd never hurt my back while deadlifting. I mean, it's hard to do anything physical for a long period of time and not injure yourself at some point, knock on wood. But, like I just like turned 32 on Monday this past week, and I realized, I've been lifting weights for 20 years now. I started when I was 12. I was in the 6th grade, I think. And so I've been lifting weights for 20 years. It's kind of impossible to do something for 20 years physically and not encounter some sort of injury. So I definitely feel empathy for you getting hurt like that. Happy Blade. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was Monday. It was good. Stephen, can you try to keep the bar a little more in front of you and squat a little bit more? Because your back is now parallel to the floor. Uh, no, I mean, I'm happy with my deadlift form. It feels good. I do tend to have a little bit higher hip position, um, but probably than some. But I don't like a squatty deadlift myself. Let's see. Here we go. Stefan, that was perfect. Well, thank you, Stefan. I appreciate your feedback. Yeah, I have a bit. Yeah, I have a. I mean, I just prefer kind of a higher. I mean, there's definitely your hips can definitely be too high, um, and people definitely can shoot their hips up too high. But Ducky Dev, I understand nothing about gym going or exercises like deadlifting. Don't even worry about it, Ducky Dev. Not everybody has to like to lift weights, man. You know. Syntax. Can you explain your form? Yes, I can, because I've taught a lot of people how to deadlift over the years. Um, so when I set up for a deadlift, I prefer to start feet about shoulder width apart. Although your feet placement and the width of your feet, the subtlety is largely going to depend kind of on your own anatomy. So don't be afraid to play around with one foot slightly in front of the other, one foot slightly behind, um, wider than shoulder width or narrower than shoulder width. I've seen guys that like to deadlift with a very narrow stance. I've seen people who prefer a little wider. Um, but then what I like to do to get into position is I like to get my shins as close to the bar as I can. I like to hip hinge back, slight bend in my knee. Then I'll usually go down and add my wrist wraps to the bar. Some people aren't going to use straps. Then from here, I like to think about pulling myself down into the bar. So I'm almost like squeezing myself into position. And then I like to take all the slack out of the bar before I pull, right? So basically, I'm pulling up pretty hard on this bar, and I'm going to get my lats really tight, and then I'm going to pull. Deadlift tutorial from Steven. Yeah, dude, I've made so many videos on how to deadlift over the years. It's crazy. I think deadlift, uh, the biggest things that can help people be more successful with their deadlift is before you pull, you want to take all the slack out of the bar, right? So, like when you do your deadlift, there shouldn't be like two pulls where like you pull up and then the barbell kind of makes a like a ding ding sound and then it comes off the ground. All that slack should be out of the bar before you start pulling. And then the other thing is you want to think about pushing the ground away from you. So instead of thinking about pulling, right, like hip shooting up and pulling like this, think about pushing the ground away from you and pulling that bar into you. But like I said, not everyone's going to be a bilateral deadlifter. It's just for some people's bodies, for some people's backs or hips, it's just not a good lift. So don't be afraid to try something different. I've got a I've got a trap bar over here. I find almost everybody can do a good trap bar deadlift. Um, so that's a good alternative if bilateral barbell deadlifts don't feel good. Single leg RDLs, so there's lots of different hip hinge movements. Hello, Butterscotch. Sorry, I missed you enter the chat, man. Hope you're doing well. Stefan, to me, the best tip was push the ground away. Yes, that is an unlock for certain, right? It just changes the whole dynamics of how you try to get that bar up and off the ground. Code says, I like alternate grip more than the usual. Oh yeah, so you like grabbing the bar like this with like a mixed grip or like this. That's how I used to deadlift for a real long time, and then I went back to using straps. Um, my feet are placed where your hands are. Oh, so you're even wider than me. Yeah, like a wide. See, and it's interesting because so much of the fitness community in the past has never done a good job of recognizing that, like, structurally, people's skeletons are just different, right? Some people have wider set hips, narrow set hips. Even the way people's femurs sit in their hip sockets is different. You can have femurs that sit real shallow in the hip sockets. You can have people that have femurs that sit real deep in the hip socket. You can have tilts left versus right. And so one stance that feels great for you is going to feel like trash to somebody else. Um, there's a trainer I follow online. His name's Dean Somerset, and he talks about all the time that, like, for him, the one of the biggest game changers he did for squatting and deadlifting was instead of having his feet even, all he did was move his right foot, I think it was, like forward, like maybe a quarter or half an inch, and then just slightly turn the toe out. And he's like, he talks about it. He's like, my squats feel better, my hips don't ache. Um, his lifts have gone up. So I think I think sometimes people get themselves into trouble trying to like squeeze themselves into one particular form. Stefan, it's because I have longer leg. Yeah, see exactly. So Stefan's already talking about what I'm talking about. Code Sage, I don't train that much. That's all right, man. Syntax Queen, very true. Stefan, I usually have my left foot a little behind as well because I noticed that my right leg was always scratched AF. So I mean that's interesting that other people in chat are acknowledging that, like, even through their own experimentation, they're finding their ways to, I mean, obviously, like, I think obviously, like, don't try to deadlift like this, right? Like, that's dumb. Now we're taking the advice a little bit of extreme, but I mean, narrower, little wider, feet kind of staggered, right? Like you can work within, there's variation within what would be quote unquote, you know, a good form. Sam, workout streams too now? Yeah, so Sam, I've been doing workout streams since I started streaming. I haven't done them much the last couple weeks just because of the way schedule has been and the times of day I've been trying to aim to stream. But I try to fit in at least one or two workout streams on the weekends because that's one of my interests. And so hopefully maybe that I find other people who are interested in that too, who like to work out, who like to code. Arkin, you all talk so much about gym shit. Now I'm encouraged to lift some dumbbells. Nice. I keep a kettlebell right by my desk. And I probably pick that thing up and do overhead presses and goblet squats and all kinds of stuff like randomly throughout the day, just as a way to get up out of the chair. Because I don't know about you, but my body never feels worse than after I've been sitting for an extended period of time. Um, yeah. So I mean, maybe that's because I have a shitty chair, but all right, we're moving on from those. Toad Sage, weightlifting gyms is not my type. Yeah, I get that, man. Totally. Stefan, you did deadlifts and then went and worked on the farm? That's crazy. Syntax, like, seriously, Steven is just good at everything. No, I'm not good at everything. I'm only good at like a very small subset of stuff. And all that has just been me spending lots and lots of time on those things. um, like I've been lifting weights for 20 years. I was a personal trainer for 10, almost 10 of those, I guess 20 years. No, yeah, almost 10. My last weight that I lift was 100 kgs, excluding the bar. I don't train that much except lifting weights in gyms. I like swimming and rock climbing. That's great, Toad Sage. I think I'm not a like everyone should lift weights kind of person. Everyone should find a movement practice that they enjoy, right? If it's yoga, Pilates, kettlebells, dumbbell workouts, running, whatever it is that you like to do, pursue that. Because the workout you actually get up and do is better than the ideal workout that you never do, in my opinion. So it says, if you don't mind what's your height, I'm about 5. I probably wake up at like 5'9" ish, and by the end of the day, I'm 5'8", something like that. I lay down, the discs in my back hydrate. I wake up nice and tall, and then slowly over the course of the day, gravity hammers me back down. Risa, dude, went from a chair to a Bosu ball. Best decision for my body ever. Yoga ball, rather. Bosu is just half of that. Now, a Bosu would be kind of a cool variation, right? You could have a Bosu ball and an exercise ball, right? You could work from one at like a deep squat, you could like squat down and get your coding in. It's possible. uh, Syntax, gonna have to go. Have a wonderful day. You do too. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great day. Let's see, Stefan. I did deadlifts, overhead leg press, leg curls, extension, calves, and forearms. Then went to the farm door. So, Stefan, it kind of seems like you woke up and you were like, "How can I make my chores on the farm even more difficult?" Because you literally did everything that you would need to do manual labor. You even took out your grip strength. Way to go, man. Uh, Toad says yoga ball while coding is some primogen things. Well, it's funny because when I watch his streams, I always get a kick out of it because he's like bouncing. When you can always tell, like when he starts to get in the flow and he's like getting excited, he just starts bouncing on the yoga ball. uh, Stefan, kind of. Yeah, pretty much. That's what it sounds like you did, man. Oh, what did I say? I'm gonna do pull-ups next, and then I'm gonna do overhead. I'm gonna do an overhead barbell press. My coffee's all gone. It's the saddest part of any workout when the coffee when the caffeine has all been drank. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Keep me company while we get our workout in here. Arkin bouncing on yoga ball is funny for some reason. It looks funny too. It sounds funny and looks funny. Stefan, no more wrist pain. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, because the Talon grip. Oh, you're using Talon grip for squats too? Interesting. Let me give that a try really quick. Because I really did enjoy the Talon grip on the reverse grip bench press. So what you're doing, instead of holding it here, yeah, I could see definitely if you have real broad shoulders, holding it like this can actually be kind of painful on the wrist, especially if you're using a lot of weight. But still, you still feel kind of in control. Huh. Or do you go out like this? Are you saying you go like this? Interesting. Huh. I have to give that a try. I can't believe I've never heard of that grip before. With all the time I've been lifting weights, I've literally never heard anybody talk about a Talon grip. Yeah, so you're like all the way out. Yeah, I can see what you mean. You're like all the way out here. You people, when lifting dumbbells with both hands, bring your dumbbells in 0 degrees or 180 degrees. Are you saying are you trying to say, like, do you hold the dumbbell like this, or do you hold the dumbbell like this? Is that what you're trying to ask? Philippe? Hello, Philippe. First time I've seen you in the chat. No swinging time? Oh, is that a joke? And I just didn't understand because I'm not very smart. Yummers, if you're not smart, then I don't know what that makes me. Well, I wouldn't claim to be very intelligent. I just try really hard. You can pull yourself up pretty impressive for someone. Yeah, I can do like 3 or 4 pull-ups. Um, I mean, do you lift both your hands with another or one goes up while the other one goes down? Uh, Depends. If I'm doing alternating, right, then I do more like that. If I'm doing both at the same time, I do curls both ways, Stefan. So I do low bar squats. I could never. I prefer a high bar back squat. A high bar back squat with a deeps with a lot of depth. But that goes back to again like your ability to squat deep is going to be largely dependent on a lot of your anatomy, right? Like you're not going to get someone like Nikola Joka or who's another really tall basketball player, Yao Ming, right? You're not going to get Yao Ming to do a high bar back squat. Like the way he's built, his what would you call it? His bone structure is just not going to let him do that. You know, FNAF man. Hi, what's up? Hello, FNA man. FNAF man. Nice to see you. Philippe, what are your workout goals? Philippe, mostly just to, I want to stay strong. I want to stay mobile. I want to be able to move furniture around and not worry about hurting myself. I want to be able to wrestle with my kids and not worry about hurting myself. I want to be able to go for long walks. Um, yeah, just kind of general preparedness. You know, nothing real specific these days. Stefan, I can squat all the way down, like touch the ground. I'm fat and really mobile for everything other than wrists. Yeah, wrists are tough. Um, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I just want to be relatively strong. I want to be pretty mobile. I know at some point I do need to lose some weight just for general health, like general longevity. I'm probably 40 pounds too heavy at the very least. So at some point, I need to take some time and prioritize my diet and really dedicate myself to getting off some weight. So that will definitely be a goal at some point. But even that goal is in service of, like I said, I want to stay strong and mobile for as long as I can. I want to age gracefully. Uh, like a successful um, goal accomplished for me would be if on the day that I die, I can say that I went to the gym and lifted some weights. I'd be a very happy man, you know, which basically just means I want to live a long time, but continue to age gracefully, to continue to be, 70 or 75 years old and still be able to squat down on the ground, lay down, get back up, pick up a heavy barbell, those types of things. See you later, Toast Age. Have a good sleep, man. Philippe, thanks for sharing. Yeah, of course, man. I'm always happy to talk about fitness related stuff. Arkin, I can't keep up with you in these time functions. Stefan, my end goal is 3 kg deadlift. What's that, 650? 250 squats, that's 500 squat or so, 400 bench, 300. That would be impressive, Stefan. I think that's awesome goals. That's wonderful. It's good to have goals, you know? Good to have goals. Uh, okay, so now we're gonna do some barbell overhead press, and then it'll be time to go watch the rest of the draft, or at least, yeah, I think it's the rest of the draft. Rounds 4 through 7 are today. Carolina, keep it up, homie. I appreciate that, Carolina. Thanks for the encouragement. Philippe, are you also focusing on diet? Not really. I mean, my diet's pretty. Other than the only thing I really do from a diet perspective right now is I just make sure I eat protein at every meal. Um, but I could put a lot more effort into that, and I haven't prioritized it. That's just on me. Stefan, I hope to hit those by 2030. Dude, if you do, I would love to see those lists for sure. Marty Miller, how do you feel about Shador not getting drafted? I can't believe it, Marty. I mean, I was sitting there last night and I thought, surely the Saints are going to pick him in the second round. And then I thought, surely the Saints are going to pick him in the third, and I thought, surely the Steelers were going to pick him." I can't believe that he's dropped this far. Siddhartha Ayo, what's the best exercise to train obliques? Side fat, I mean. Um, if you want, yeah, if you want to get rid of extra weight here, that's what you're talking about doing, or extra weight around here, or really extra weight anywhere. You got to get into a calorie deficit, my brother. You got to lose fat. So I would tell you, instead of worrying about the best exercise to train your oblique, I would double down on preparing your meals, tracking your calories, paying attention to your macros, tracking your weight week to week, and do that for a while until you start to see the pounds come off the scale. Marty Miller, I think it's his cocky attitude. It sounds like that's the case. It sounds like people did not like the way he came off in interviews, and that has been circulated amongst the league. And for all intents and purposes, it seems like he's kind of being shut out. What's crazy to me though is, as a business, if you're thinking from like a football business perspective, regardless of his interview, regardless of his attitude, if you could spend a fourth round pick today and pick him up, that's a steal. Like, it's a steal. So I don't want that. That's the part that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If you just run the calculations of, like, okay, a fourth round pick for what should have been a first rounder, and he might develop into a actual high caliber NFL quarterback, why wouldn't you get him? Right. So that to me is the part that I can't really make sense of myself. Arkin, some sage Yoda guidance. Go on non-dry intermittent fasting. Yeah, I've done intermittent fasting. I've done 8 to 16. And I definitely see why people like that. Like, I definitely see why. Like, particularly, I think you're very productive if your first meal doesn't come to like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, your day seems much more productive. Um, because you're not really weighed down by really thinking about meals and preparation. I mean, you just have to do basically 1 or 2 meals a day. But intermittent fasting is also not for everybody. So, and at the end of the day, it still comes down to calories in versus calories out. When you're talking about fat loss or weight loss, it's about a calorie deficit. You cannot cheat the laws of thermodynamics. Philip, do you also have a gym membership or home gym only? I only work out at home. Um, the last gym membership I had was in 2022. I got a gym membership for the summer just as a change of pace because the gym it gets pretty hot here in the summer, and so I thought, well, it'd be nice to be able to go somewhere and work out. So that was nice. Occasionally too, I'll like go to a gym just for the fun of it, like pay for a day pass as a change of pace. But for the most part, I just train at home. Stefan, dream is to have a home gym like you. I would just need a pulley as well. And my big rocks, of course. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, you'll get there. You'll have it one day. Philippe, I enjoy eggs for breakfast. I like eggs any time of the day. uh, Philip, gyms got some nice machines. They really do, and that's actually I've talked about that during other workout streams. The number one thing I miss working out in my home gym is uh, I miss the cable machines. Like I really wish I had a lat pull down machine. I wish I had a cable crossover. Uh, and that's actually whenever I do invest more money into the home gym setup, that's the first thing I'm going to buy is some sort of cable attachment or cable machine or something. There's actually several squat racks now that you can buy from companies like Rogue Fitness that have a cable system integrated into the squat rack, kind of like less of a squat stand, right? And more like a full cage power rack almost. Uh which right now I just have squat stands. But maybe one day maybe I upgrade that one day and I get something with cables integrated. Yoke would be fun. I use the trap bar for real heavy farmers walks. That's what I use. Um, although you do run into this issue with the trap bar where you're kind of having to worry about balancing the cage around you, so you can get yourself into trouble sometimes. Woodlard, my gym is a tennis club with a massive gym in the basement, very few people, tons of machines. I don't see myself going anywhere else. Yeah, man, I think that's awesome. For me, the home gym, the thing about the home gym that's the biggest sell is the logistics. I don't have to think about what time the gym opens, what time the gym closes. I don't have to think about what time my get out of school or what time they have to be there. Um, like I don't have to do any of that logistical planning. Like I just if it's 11:45 and a meeting ends early and I decide I want to go get a workout in, I just go do it, you know? So yeah, the convenience of the home gym is unmatched. And I'm gonna do anything in my power to try to always have one unless my life circumstances significantly change. Yeah, the combo rack, yeah, that like a full integrated, like a monster a monster rack with like a fully integrated cable system would be. You just got to have the space, right? You got to have the space and the money. They're expensive, but what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? Butterscotch. Any tips? How can I develop my mind muscle connection in my arms, especially my biceps and triceps? I don't feel like they are working and don't get sore easily. Um, my favorite is eccentrics. So, like, get you a big heavy dumbbell and do some overhead tricep extensions, but really accentuate the lowering, right? And really see if you can feel kind of that stretch and pull through your triceps. What else? So yeah, eccentrics. You do the same thing with like a easy bar curl, a preacher curl. Uh, I also find it helps to really squeeze at the top of a repetition, right? So if you're doing a curl, right, it's like at the top, you almost like pause for a full second or 2 seconds and really squeeze. Um, I mean, the mind muscle connection is a real thing. I think if you were to actually translate to what that means in science, it just means your your ability to activate that muscle is just very inefficient. Um, and that should just get better over time the more you lift. Stefan, I'm gonna have to make my rack probably. I ain't got no money for this shit, but that's good. I can make it however I like. Probably gonna integrate a pulley into it. Yeah, I mean these squat stands, um, all these squat stands were in my gym and we didn't buy these from Rogue. We basically went on rogue.com, pulled off their pulled off the spec sheet, or like the dimensions that they had on the product information, and we took it to a machine shop where we lived, and we were just like, "Hey, can you guys, our fabrication shop was like, can you guys build this for us? Could you quote it for us?" And it was like half the price. I mean, it was much cheaper. I think we had them make 6 squat stands, or maybe 4 squat stands total, and I don't think we paid more than $400 for all of them. And if we had bought those off Rogue, I think we copied the Rogue's S2 squat stands. If we had bought all of those off Rogue, it would have cost us probably close to $1,000. Um, so if you have the ability, right? If you know somebody that can weld and can build you stuff, never hurts to get a quote. But also sometimes it's nice to just pay the money and get the equipment shipped to you and be done with it. All right, I got one more set, and then it's draft time. Just copy those MS. Probably most expensive thing, yeah, the plates, man. All the weights are the most expensive. The dumbbells, the plates, the barbells, 100% the most expensive things. I mean, dumbbells are insane. Like the heaviest dumbbells I have in my gym are these 100-pound dumbbells right here. I mean, just buying a pair of those, like one 100-pound dumbbell, right, is going to cost you a couple $100. It really is. It's crazy. I think it was Stefan. You brought that up. Like probably a better alternative to having a bunch of like multiple pairs of dumbbells is to just get like plate loaded dumbbells, which is interesting because I haven't actually seen a lot of those. I used to have a pair of the adjustable Bowflex dumbbells. I gave those to my mom. She uses those in her home gym, and those were nice. They were a little awkward though. Didn't quite feel as nice to lift as a normal pair of dumbbells, but definitely saved you a lot of money and a lot of space. That felt good. Felt good. That was a good workout. I definitely need to get my deadlifts up. I've kind of slacked on taking care of my lower body strength. Stefan done already? Yeah, man, that's enough for me. I'll probably come back out here this afternoon. I've kind of been working out twice a day, and I'll do like some higher volume or some lower volume, lower rep stuff in the morning, and then I'll come back in the evenings or the afternoons, and I'll kind of bro out. Well, you guys got any plans for your Saturday? Because I'm gonna go watch the draft, and then I'll probably be live again working on some. Are you going to do your? Yeah, I will. Probably this afternoon after the draft ends. Um, I'll probably hop on. So probably like I don't know, 2 p.m. Central Standard, somewhere between like 2 p.m. Central Standard and 4. It just depends on what's all going on. But if you see me live, stop in. I definitely hang out. Stefan laying down until Monday. Yeah, you're just gonna do the necessities. Only the bare minimum movement required, which I don't blame you after your epic workout and chore day today. All right, guys, I'm gonna go inside and eat something. Probably drink some more coffee, and maybe I'll see you guys later today. Stefan, not even gonna use the PC. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. All right, guys. I will. I'll talk to you. I don't know if I see you in my others live. I'll talk to you in a few hours. But otherwise, hope you have a good rest of your Saturday. And if it's already Sunday for you, have a good rest of your Sunday. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.